Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. It's morning here for me. I'm not sure when you'll be watching this, so I'll just say good day. Today, this is the last week for the Fall into Cuteness challenge, and the prompt is autumn leaves. So I found some autumn leaves, but besides that, because this would be a very quick challenge, but I want to give you some tips and maybe some ideas on how to create a collage um, when you can't decide if you want to have a vertical collage or a horizontal collage. And I thought of this, to go over with you and help you, um, because my light is like right here, isn't it? Wow. Okay. All right. Let's move that. I have this little template and the light is hitting it, so I hope it doesn't shine. I'll try to keep it out of the way of the glare. But as I was planning this collage out, I wasn't sure if I want to do it horizontal or vertical, and I thought this would be a really nice little tutorial for anybody that is interested in collage art, or you don't know where to start. I just think this might help you a little bit, and it's going to help me decide which way I want to do this. So if you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you stick around. You might be able to pick up a tip or two. If you're a returning viewer, thank you. I really appreciate your support with my art and what I have to jibber jabber about. So let's get started. I am using, which my dear friend Liz over at Buttons for Brains, she uses up a lot of her these cards. I'm trying to think, what is the name of these cards? I don't know, but they're used for scrapbooking, and I have a ton of them, as she does. And Liz will use these to do some of her collage work in. So I pulled one of mine. All I can think of is Creative Memories. It's not Creative Memories. I just had the gosh darn box here, and I don't know what I did with it. I'm that efficient this morning. I don't know. But at any rate, it'll come to me, but it doesn't matter. You can use an index card. This card here measures 4 by 6, okay? Because these are used for scrapbooking purposes, these were made 4 by 6 to slide into a photo album. And then you can have a picture above or beside, and then you'll write things I love or the best is yet to come, maybe a bucket list over here. This one I don't need. So I'm going to use this for part of my collage today, the backdrop, the base of my collage. So like I said, the prompt for the Fall into Cuteness is autumn leaves. So I've been dying to use these oak leaves with the 2 acorns. So I pulled those, and then the other sweet little images I've been really anxious to use. I cut these out over a year ago, and I have a whole series of them. This is from a children's book. I can't tell you the name of the book. I don't know. Here's part of I just don't remember. But these are really sweet images. So I have this little rabbit here that I want to use. I have a cloud formation. I have a sweet little bird that is going to be flying over. And I have a little group of coins that are on the ground that were found. So when I create a collage, I always try to tell a story. You don't have to. It just makes the whole process easier for me if it makes I'm a very linear type of person. I do have to go, from point A to point, A, B, C, D. I have to have You know, I'm a type A personality, so everything has to be in order for me. It has to make sense to me. I'm not an abstract artist, you know, whether it be painting, cross stitching, um, collage art, my scrapbooking pages, you know, for the family. Everything has to tell a story. So I guess in my bio, I could say I'm a storyteller. So I wanted to create a little story here, but I don't want to take away either from the prompt, the autumn leaves. Um, so these are the pieces that I have to work with. And then I got thinking, you know, how do I want to, when I started the collage out, and again, this is great, you know, if you're a beginner, you know, I wanted to see if my leaves would fit up here. And I thought, okay, they're going to fit. And then if I have to take a little bit off, I can raise it up here a little bit. Then I brought my cloud in because I thought, well, you know, we have to have a little cloud in the sky. Then we have to have our bird flying past because we do, because there are many birds in the sky, at least where I live. And then this darn thing causing a glare. And then we have our sweet little hare or rabbit. And then we have him stumbling across this money. So I got thinking, you know, the first thing I was going to grab was the my backdrop papers, you know, these little pieces here. And I thought, well, I could just put these on the back, you know, get some, do like a little collage background. And I thought, yeah, I always do that. So I said, I want to do something different. So then I said, well, I have this pad here from Your Creative Studios. And I was going through this and I thought, well, I could put some leaves down the side, and I don't really want this bird cage there. So that was out. And I thought, well, this has a letter up here. I'm like, this isn't going to work. So then I got thinking, I was going through some pieces of ephemera last week doing my Birdtober collages. And I ran across, these are from AliExpress. Came with a whole grouping of really cool images. And I thought it'd be really cool, because I remembered I had this, to have him outside of a Tudor style village, finding the coins on the street, and the oak leaves can be up above. So I started playing with it, and I'm like, well, okay, so this is not, it's not going to cover the page. So I took these off, and this is where the little bit of tutoring and the ideas I want you to think about. So you could place this here with no trouble. You could glue this down. Then, you know, you would cut this off, okay? But this is where I don't want you to jump into it and say, oh, I like this. And then I'll rip and tear a little bit here, and I'll put it up here. I could have some leaves. I don't want you to do that. And I don't want you to, if you go this way, if you decide to go horizontal, say, oh, this is great. You know, this fits. Now I really like the chimneys. So I want the chimneys to be in here. So I'm going to glue this down, and I'm going to cut it off here. Well, if you do that and you cut it off there, see, this actually ends. See where this ends right here? You aren't going to have any of the sidewalk. You're going to have the building. Then you would have, so that if you say, okay, well, let me get my ruler. I'm going to put my ruler here, because this is where I know the end is. And then I'm going to take, so this ends right about 11. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it here. So this is what I have to work with. This is going to be my, so that's great. I have my chimney, I have the sky, so I can take my leaves and I can put them there. And I have my bird, and I can have the bird maybe I don't want to use the clouds, but I can have the bird flying, and oh my gosh, this is great. And look at that, the leaves are hanging. You got some leaves here. I got my rabbit. Well, yeah, that's not going to work for you, is it? Because the rabbit is in the middle of the house, and that makes no sense at all. If you want to do that, you can do that. That's fine. You could even have him standing on the roof, and he could be looking down at the money. But to me, that just doesn't make sense. So you do that. And then you can, flip-flop it and say, well, I can do this and have the leaves up there, yada, yada, yada. Well, I don't want you to do that. I want you to take your pieces, keep them over here to the side, put your card up here. I want you to, you can either, this is just a very simple piece of see-through paper. I don't know what to call it. This came, I think this came from a Tim Holtz package. I have a few of them here. I have another one. I have this one. And what I did was I drew a line. I took a black marker and I went around so I could see when I put it down on a piece of paper. Did a marker all the way around. And then what I do to decide if I have a project like this, a collage art I want to do, I actually take this and I put it down. So I think you can see this, where the line goes across, down, and across here. So I'm going to do a horizontal and I'm going to do a vertical to see how this would look. How I'm going to decide how I'm going to do it. So you're going to take your little piece of vellum or acetate. I guess this is acetate, considered acetate. You're going to put this down because this is the same size. This is a 4x6. So it's the same size without the rounded corners of a 4x6 card. So I'm going to put that down. And I really don't care about the chimney. If I want a little bit of the chimney, I could move it up. But again, you're going to see where it's cutting this off right here. It's cutting off this, I think, this essential part of the collage. So I'm going to move that back down and keep it there. And then I'm just going to work within these boundaries. So again, if I want to have my acorns up here, it's going to show me that I'm going to be cutting this section off and that section off. And that's fine. It looks just fine like that. You're going to have a little bit of a tree behind you. If you want to have, if you're hell-bent on using this whole image, you can bring it over like this, where it's coming down over the roof, if you like that. If you plan on using the clouds, you may not be able to use these because you are kind of short on space. But try it, give it the old college try, see if you like it. I don't like it, so I would not use that, even though you've got this guy up here. If you brought this back over this way, the cloud is hanging too low, so I would not use that in the horizontal layout of this collage. So you could have your leaves up here any way you want. If you're going to incorporate the tree, I would put a stem here and pretty much have it come this way, tilt it however you want. Then you can add your little rabbit down here, and because you have enough sidewalk or not enough road over here, you can actually, the way this is designed and cut, you can actually put him right here. Then you can take your coins. You can put your coins here, right there. And then you can still use your bird. You can either put the bird up here. You could put the bird over this section here. He could be flying. He could be flying across this way. Again, he could be over here. I kind of like him flying off over this way. He could be perched on the roof. Okay, so that's one option. If you like that and you're afraid you're not going to remember your whole outline or where you put it, get your phone and take a photo of it. All right, and then that way you can go back and see exactly how you did it. So that's the horizontal. If you want to do a vertical, and say you have all types of vertical images in your book, and you have to do a vertical, you're just stuck on that, it's in your head that you want to do that, then you're going to want to figure out the best way here to do that. Now, you've got a couple different options. You have your tree here, all right, which would go lovely with the acorn and the oak leaves, okay? So you're doing fine there, okay? You can just bring this over if you want. Bring it, if you want a little bit more road, you can bring it this way, okay? So you've got that. You might want to bring it down a little bit because remember, you do have room to play. So what I would do is I would still keep the bottom. You have room up here. You could put washi tape up towards the top. You could actually, I wouldn't want to, because I could use this in another collage. So I wouldn't want to tear anything off of here. But you could then, if you want to use your cloud, you could put your cloud up here. You could get just a neutral piece of paper, maybe dictionary, some sort of vintage paper to go on the top. You could have your cloud up here, okay? But then I would tuck this behind because the cloud is passing over. It's just preference if you want the acorns in front of the cloud, behind it, okay? You could do it like that. Here you could have your bird flying across, okay? You could put your bird there. That way you could put a little stamp or a little something up in this section here. Maybe you might want to put the date. If you're one to put a date as to when you did the collage, you could stamp the date up in there. That would be nice too. Then here you have you got your little Mr. Bunny. And you can, there's his money, the bunny with his money. So you could have, let me see if let me get a couple black pieces of paper to block this out. And that's what you might want to do. You might want to just take some black paper and just block it out. And then this could be your vertical collage. If you like that, great. Now you still have room to play with. You can actually move this over a little bit where you have the tree here. Maybe you could move the leaves up. And then that way you wouldn't, let's do this because you would have to fill this behind here. So you would want to fill that space, wherever the black is, that's where you would have to fill. So you could do it like this. And put your other paper over here like that. And then there you have, that's what if you moved it down a little bit, that's what it would look like. So these are all little tips that you can do to decide. You don't have to get real, don't get anxious over it like I am right now, because I like the vertical and I like the horizontal. aspect of this. And you can just keep moving it around to see what you like best. I like the idea of having a little bit of everything in here. It gives it a whole different perspective. I mean, this, if you really want to tell a story, I mean, there's not much vegetation, you know, with that tree over here to the left, it really makes it look like a really nice little village street. But by doing it here, it can tell a whole different story because it looks desolate. It looks like maybe the people that live here, you know, might be very desperate. They don't, it may be a rundown village, you know, way up in England somewhere, where there's not a lot of employment. You know, you could just build a whole story, and then this little bunny is coming out, and who, you know, maybe these are the only clothes on his back that he has, and he finds a whole grouping of coins. So, you know, you can really have whatever you want to portray. You know, where this one, it looks very, very inviting. You've got the tree back there, even to have a little bit of the tree. But I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at this in the horizontal view again one last time. And I think I may go with that. I want to make sure I get this door in here because this is the door. This is the little section that the rabbit lives in. And I don't think I'm going to worry much about getting these oak leaves, most all of them in the collage. So this is what I have to work with the 4x, doing the 4x6, the horizontal. So whatever hangs over your dark image, that's what you would be cutting off. I know I would not be using the cloud, so I can keep that for another collage when I use these little images. I got my little guy here, and I like the fact that his little bicycle that he rides around on is there. Here's his money. And I think we are going to put the bird, we'll have the bird perch right over here on the rooftop. So this is I'm going to go with the horizontal for this one. I was actually hoping I could go with a vertical because all of my other, well, except for my little critters, that's horizontal. So I'm going to be doing the horizontal. So now what you want to do when you've made your decision, you're going to want to take and you're going to want to outline around this 4x6. And just go careful. Make sure that it doesn't slip and slide on you. You're going to want to go around your little plastic image here. And then this, I'm not going to draw because I know it's right on this line here when I go to cut it. So I'm going to get my little cutter. You can use scissors if you want to. Sometimes I just like to use my cutter. I hope this is cutting straight because that's my lineal OCD kicking in. And I don't worry about the if I have a little bit of pencil mark there, I don't erase it because I'm going to distress around this. So this is a little bit, you can see, I'd rather have it a little bit bigger than not big enough. And what I'll do is I'm going to glue this down, and then I'm just going to go around and I'm going to cut the back side because I want to round, those corners. Oh, I'm sorry. We had to we had to turn the heat on this morning because it was really cold and the heat's bothering me. I'm going to go get a drink of water in just a minute. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. I'm not used to having the heat on. I have my door closed and, oh, my throat just got dry in my craft room. We really tried not to turn our heat on until November 1st, but it was just too cold this morning. And if I don't get the chill out of the house, we're cold the rest of the day. Yesterday morning we stacked firewood, so I want to have a fire today, but I just had to get the chill out. And my heat was only at 68, 69 degrees, but I can't take it hot. When nobody's home during the day, I have it set at 65. But when my husband's home, he has to have it up a little bit more. My son's room is on the cool side. He's on the back side of the house, so he doesn't get any sun, and he's always cold. He had heart surgery when he was 19. We didn't expect that. So he runs cold. I'm the only one that runs hot around here. Some days. Some days I'm cold. Okay, so that is just so you can see where you don't notice those small little pencil marks. I did have to cut that one off, but even on the side here, you don't really notice it. So there's our backdrop. And I think that will be just fine. And then with this here, I am going to cut these out a little bit more. I don't mind some white showing, but I don't like the white paper on the inside. If I can cut it out, I do. And if I need to use my X-Acto knife, I do that as well. But this is okay. It's just kind of free form, and I don't mind a little bit extra showing. And you're probably asking, why is she using such large scissors to do? I just like it because I can take a longer stroke with the scissors, the larger scissors. Okay, let me just get this little bit out here around this acorn. Okay, I think that's good. All right. So now we're going to be putting our leaves, our autumn leaves here. And we have Mr. Rabbit here with his little coins he found. Going to buy himself a new bicycle. And then we have the little bird here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, because these definitely I want here. So I'm going to glue these down first. I'm still thinking about the oak leaves. Okay, so we have our little bird. We have our sweet little rabbit. I think this was called Harry the Rabbit or something like that. Hat, I don't know. All I know, they were such sweet little images. I still have the book. If anybody's interested, leave a comment and I'll go find the book and tell you what book this is out of. And then you can look for it at your local library book sale or something. But it is adorable. There's so many cute little images. I don't want to cover his bike up too much, so I'm going to put that there. And then the reason I did this last was I don't know if I want it like this. And then I can take these and add them maybe to the side a little bit or coming down. So if we put that there, I can add maybe a couple little, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to lift this off because I do like where this is right here. So I'm just going to get this glued down here. Okay, and that's going to hold it. This is going to hold it in place. Then I can come over and finish gluing the rest down. Okay. And we got this. And I think we got this one. This is also, okay, all right. So I'm just going to carefully get that down. Then we're going to cut these off. I got to clean my scissors, they're gluey. Okay, so we have these little pieces here. So, oh my goodness, my finger. So if I want to use this, now it's caught on that little bird's tail. If I want to use this, I could bring this up here. I could cut a little bit more off of this. Because sometimes it's nice just to add these little pieces. If they fit, they fit. If they don't, then they can get trashed. But you could put that one there. So it looks like more of the tree hanging down above that one. And you can put this one here. Or you could put it, see if it will fit here. My finger's a little sticky. It's like doing surgery. Scalpel, forceps. You could put that there like that. I think I'm just going to keep this one here. I think that looks the best. I can even bring that over a little bit. I can put that like that. I'm going to put that like that. And it just adds a little something to that corner, just to fill it in. There. So that is our autumn leaves, fall into cuteness collage. And I think this came out just as the name says. I think it came out very cute. I love these little images. I just think these are adorable. So I really do hope this video was helpful to you today, in creating a collage, trying to make sense of it, horizontal versus vertical. I just think it's a much easier way to do it. And again, take your time with collages. You don't have to work fast. You don't have to complete them in all one setting. You could start and then you could come back to it. You could think about it. You might see something else when you're working on a junk journal and you're going through your ephemera and saying, "Oh my goodness, that would work even better." Or, "I like this background. Let me try it with that." So just take your time with collages. That's one thing that Marguerite Miller taught me, is that you don't have to finish it all in one setting. You know, you can do something, especially if you're creating a master board, work on it. Don't glue it down, leave it, look at it, come back the next day, if you're just not 100% sure. Collages are to be fun and relaxing and, to tell a little story. So again, I hope this helped you. I really enjoyed, helping you, giving you a few tips as to how you could start your collage and some different things to do. So I want to thank everybody. I really appreciate you joining me today to watch this. And if you like this video, oh, I'm sorry. If you like this video, I'd love to have you give me a thumbs up, and I'd love to have you comment on it. All right, everybody, I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.